The criticisms that I have of the Chequers agreement are not the same as the American president's. My criticism is that we should be having a proper customs union with the rest of Europe because they are our closest allies and because they're 22 miles away. So we should be trading properly with them. My worry is that the British government there are attempts being made to bully the British government into dropping the idea of a customs union at all by the American president in order to have a trade deal with the United States. I'm afraid we should not be interested in that. I don't think that we have any particular evidence that the American president is particularly serious about a trade deal. He's starting trade wars around the world. We already have, pretty good trade with America, and yet he says that there are too many foreign goods coming into America. He wants to put America first. Well, that's fine, but the idea that we will drop our closeness to the rest of Europe on some chance that the American president might decide that he's going to sign a trade deal with us is frankly for the birds. It is a fantasy. He said when he was first elected that he wanted to sign a trade deal with Britain and that it would just take a few days. Well, it shows that he doesn't even understand what a trade deal is. And frankly, given how irascible he is and given how unpredictable he is, I really don't think that the fate of Britain should be in his hands.
The President's comments, though, uncover a serious problem that there is now discord between the deal put forward, that effectively there's nothing in it for the Remainers and nothing in it for the Brexiteers. The Brexiteers are not going to get a trade agreement with a major country, a major trading partner, so that's not going to be forthcoming now. And the Remainers, as you point out, are not really happy with this deal either. There's not a close alignment with Europe, not a close enough alignment that there could be. So where are we? Are we back to square one when it comes to Brexit negotiations?
So what we have said, what the Labour Party has said, is that what we should be in is a customs union with Europe. We should be close to the single market, but we need to have some changes to immigration. And that is the way in which we should proceed. We should have a British-style deal with the rest of Europe. And when Europe negotiates trade deals with the rest of the world, we should certainly be there and be a bolt-on additional presence. We are the 5th biggest economy in the world, and it would be to the advantage of the EU and to the advantage of us to work together when dealing with trade deals in future. And we would have a voice in those negotiations in order to make sure that British interests were looked after.
Emily, I'm down at Chequers. This is where the working part of Donald Trump's trip is meant to take place. Theresa May, I think, is under some pressure now to respond, perhaps not in kind, but perhaps to give a suitably robust response to the president's interview with the Sun newspaper. If you were in her seat, what would you do? What advice would you give her about how she gives the appropriate measured response to President Trump?
I don't think that feeling sorry for the British Prime Minister is a good look. I haven't felt sorry for her. I have many criticisms of her. But actually today I feel sorry for her. Imagine how she was feeling when she was standing on the steps of Blenheim Palace with all of the guards around her at the birthplace of Winston Churchill to greet the American president, who had just said that there would be no trade deal, that the Brexit negotiations were nonsense, that Boris Johnson would be a good prime minister, etc., alongside all sorts of extraordinary insults of Britain. I have to say that really, did he not listen to his mother? When you go to someone's house, you do not insult your host. And frankly, this is absolutely basic behaviour. He should not have done that. But what did she do? She went up the steps with him and she held his hand again. Stop holding his hand. Melania Trump cannot hold his hand. Women know when men try to hold our hands. We know ways of stopping them holding our hands. Why was she holding his hand on the way up the steps? This man is a bully. And you have to stand up to bullies. If you don't, then they will walk all over you. She is being weak, and he does not respect weakness. He only respects strength. If you look at the way in which he responds to the so-called strong men around the world, as opposed to those who are democratically elected, you know that what he needs is someone to stand up to him. And she should do that, and I would do that, and that is the right thing to do. I'm furious at his behaviour.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.